Yes.
We're ready, man.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to the AMA. I'm going to be your host again today. Craig's out once again, so you got me hosting here. And see, I know I catch it because I know you're going to do it.
It's like, hey, you're taking over for Craig. I'm muting you out.
You got to give equal treatment, right? Or
Hey,
it's
Corky,
unfair.
nice to see you again.
Hey, Corky, let me go to gallery view here. Well, hello everyone. Today is an AMA with my father, Robert Hollis. Some of you may not know who he is, and if you don't know, then you definitely need to go to roberthollis.com or Google Robert Hollis. But today he's here to answer and take any questions that you may have on many different subjects, whether it's network marketing. He's one of the top earning network marketers of all time. Personal development, mindset. There's so many things that Robert can help you guys with. So please don't hesitate to ask questions. Now, to ask questions, how do you do that? There's a couple of ways. First off, you can post on Facebook, and I'll take those questions that you ask in the Facebook chat and share them here with Robert, and he can answer those questions on here. Another way is to join us live on here. To do that, you just go to roberthollis.com/AMA. And then you can hop on with us here and raise your hand. To raise your hand, you just go to reactions on the bottom there and click raise hand. So we can get on here and answer all of your questions. You can also post in chat on here too. And I can share those if you don't feel like personally getting on and asking your question on camera. But some people don't have a problem doing that. And it also helps others. It's always good to keep in mind that by asking questions, even if you feel a little anxious about doing it and you have a question, there's no really, in my opinion, there's no dumb questions, right, Dad? You're really open to a lot. So since that's the case, don't hesitate, because not only will you get your question answered by Robert, but it also could help other people that have that question that are too anxious to even ask. A lot of people really don't realize how much it benefits others to ask those questions, because there's always people that have the same question. It's common. So with that said, we normally give my dad a little bit of time to go over and share any new insights or things that he has on his mind before we get started. So with that said, Dad, to you.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. Love and appreciate you so much. And thank you for filling in, but also thank you for doing all the stuff in the background.
No problem. With pleasure.
Yeah. So you know what? Today, if you guys have been watching my Facebook lives that I've been doing, I also take those Facebook lives and immediately put them on YouTube. You know, around the holiday season when everyone's thinking about being thankful, and I've been covering topics that have to do with that. And one of the things is you know, if there's anything that I feel like I want to share with others, is just something very quickly. There's moments in my life that if I shared it with you, you would go, okay, you win, Robert. Your story is worse than mine. You had more tragic stuff in your life. And that's never ever to be the winner of anything. You know what I mean? It's just I seen someone recently post when I said some of the stuff that I've gone through, and she said, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that your childhood was like that. And my response is, it made me who I am. It's made me who I am. And so the one thing that my past has taught me is it's taught me that I very well understand how to not treat somebody. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? And so it's I don't want to go into anything in depth. It was funny because yesterday, it's weird at what Facebook will post, right? And yesterday I posted, and maybe people don't even see it. I never even thought about that. But it's you know, it's a classic. The reason why Survivor and, you know, Big Brother and America's Race. You know what I mean? The America's Got Talent, The Voice, all these shows have so many people watching them because inside each and every one of us, we love watching people reach their human potential. We love watching people go through challenges. We because I think we all agree, a lot of people that I know I heard you were a NASCAR fan. And I said, yeah. And people go, well, I watch NASCAR because I'm waiting for the wrecks to happen. And that is a reason to watch. You know what I mean? It really is. So we like to watch people, go against all odds. And from going against all odds, they find a way to pick themselves back up. And through that, we get inspiration. Through that, we get hope. And it was pretty funny. I just to finish up on this topic, it's I'll share something with you guys that I think is pretty awesome. As I tell people all the time, it's neat to win awards, but when you get awards for your giving, you know what I mean? So, to think that Terry and I now, give more money to children than people make a year in their life, or maybe even 2 or maybe 3. And so that was always my goal. So if you guys see on, it's like I was telling Matt today, I went back and it was funny. I watched everybody goes, hey, do you know who Eric Worre is? They're brand new people and they're going out there. And I said, yeah, not only do I know who Eric Worre is, but I was one of his star speakers. In fact, the anchor speaker for over 5 years until he got big enough to hire the people like Tony Robbins. And I've been blessed to speak on stages with the best speakers in the world. And there was times in my life that I wanted to get these trophies and still do to challenge myself. Then there was a time where, people said, you should be an author of a best-selling book. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it a couple times. And then it would be neat if you were a motivational speaker or a keynote speaker. And my best tour, listen to this, you guys, my best tour in 2013 is I hit 10 countries in 10 days and spoke live in front of over 1 million people. So if you think that there's certain things that you want to accomplish in life, I've had, I wanted to make $100,000 in a year. And then I wanted to make $100,000 in a month. And then I wanted to make $100,000 in a week. And then $100,000 in a day. And I've done all that. Nothing fulfills me more than giving money to children. So now I'm addicted to making more money to give more money to children. And I'm just asking you to inspire to be better, be inspired to create. Sometimes if your 100% focus is you making money for you to buy things, that might be why you don't do it every day. Because there's this inner part of you that goes, I'm okay. And that little voice in your head goes, I'm okay. I don't have it as bad as those people in countries where they don't have a home and they don't have any food and they don't have any water and they don't have any parents. I'm doing okay. Well, great. Then do it for somebody else. You guys got that? So that's that. We're going to already open it up for questions. I just want to help each and every one of you do your very, very, very best to get awards for giving money to people. Get awards for, I just love helping children. So, to be honest with you, I will say one thing. The reason I love giving money to children is they don't let me down. You know what I mean? They're just gracious and say thank you. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Sometimes I'm given to adults and I shouldn't expect anything when I give to adults. You know what I mean? It's like not only did I spend hours and hours and hours and hours, 50 hours alone in just interviews to complete this book. So I wanted this book to go through my journey so I could help other people to succeed. And people won't download it for free and read it. It's like, okay, whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of people in the world that I don't know. They just don't want to achieve any better than they are. And I'm going, you don't have to do this for someone you love. So Matt, back to you.
No, I mean, incredible message, Dad. And I've learned a lot about giving from you over my lifetime. And I've seen it a lot, and I think even you bringing up giving to adults, like I have seen my dad experience firsthand the problems with that sometimes, where you give and then they ask for more because now you're their lifeline. They don't know how to get that themselves. And so it can really be like a slippery slope with things like that. But I get what you're saying, Dad. Giving to children is also giving to the future of humanity. And you once were one of those children. So it's like, man, it just pulls at my heartstrings every time I hear it, because it's so great to see and to even have a parent that is into doing things like that. You really learn a lot. And so it is awesome. And thank you for sharing that message, Dad. Do you know the link that people can go to give? Maybe I can make a shorter link with roberthollis.com.
Wow, I never even thought about that. You can just put roberthollis.com/giving.
I know. Yeah. I was thinking we need to promote that as much as we possibly can, because anybody can help, any little bit helps. Yeah. And I think that especially this time of year.
Yeah. So I'll send you the Zwagil link, because that's my focus right now.
Yep. And we'll move on to questions and I'll get that set up in the meantime. But thank you.
Link. There's the link, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that said, thank you so much, Dad, for sharing that with all of us. We're going to move into the AMA part. We've already have a few hands up. I'll go through again how you can ask questions to Robert here. If you're on Facebook, simply type your question into chat there, and I will pass that on to Robert. Any question you like, he's willing to answer any. Another way is to go to roberthollis.com/AMA. Sign up. You can hop on the Zoom here with us live and ask your question live in person by raising your hand. To do that, you can just hit the reactions at the bottom of your phone or at the bottom of your screen. I believe that's how you do it. Or you could also ask it here in chat on Zoom, and I will pass those questions on to Robert. So with that said, we're going to go through the people that have their hands up first. The first person to have his hand up is Bill. Bill, would you go ahead and I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can ask your question to Robert here.
Thank you, Matthew. The man, the myth,
hello.
the legend of network marketing, Robert Hollis. Okay, how to do it.
Awesome.
You guys pull on my heartstrings big time. And
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, Robert, you're an inspiration. You inspire me every time I listen to you, and thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it inspired me to be better, because you were an orphan. I can't even compare to that struggle in my lifetime, but I did have two parents who sucked. So I don't know which is worse, but
I can
it
tell
wa-
you. I
it
can
wasn't
tell you.
it wasn't it was yeah, I know. It wasn't their fault. That's the way they were brought up. They were brought up the depression era, so anyway.
Yeah, Bill,
Uh
sorry to interrupt you. Thank you so
right,
much. People,
sure.
you wouldn't believe how many times in my life I've run into people going, wow, yeah, let me tell you how bad, my dad, and my mom is. And I usually just say, at least you had them. And
I
that
hear you.
usually makes them go, dang, man. It's like because there's little things that people don't realize. It's like I joined Boy Scouts for a while. And when you join any organization, including being in school, the number one thing that people go, where's your mom? Where's your dad? And so yeah.
Well, I'm grateful for my parents, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And same with my kids. I mean, they probably didn't think I was the greatest parent either. So,
Yeah.
there you go. So with that said, thank you. Oh, and thank you for the video that you posted today on America's Got Talent.
Oh, yeah.
I cried like a baby, and those lyrics were amazing. It's like, wow, I got to listen to that more often because it really hit home. Thank you for that.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that. And so my question for you today is, I know your story, how you just had to succeed or die, right? That's at the point you're at. I'm getting there right now, to tell you the truth. But anyway, my question is, in the beginning, did you have a mastermind like what Jenna Zwagil taught on her last teaching in the beginning?
I did not see her last training. I got to watch it. I was actually doing a Zoom. So I didn't have a mastermind, but so people will learn to really immediately. I'm 60, I'll be 61 in February. There was this there was this place that I actually called, and it was called Nightingale and Conant, and a guy that's no longer with us worked there and answered the phone. His name was Bob Proctor. That was 36 years ago. And they sent me a little catalog, and some of the stuff that I do have the ability, and I know that every one of you have this ability. Have you ever been engulfed in a book or a movie or a song and you just feel like you're there? I went through that with personal development, Bill. So, my inner circle was not only Nightingale and Conant, but Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, and Zig Ziglar, and I learned from those people, and I mentally knew that I love when people say this about me. I think Mary, I see Mary on here. Hi, Mary. And people sometimes send me messages and say, wow, you didn't have to do that whole video for me. And they're like, it's like, whether I'm uplifting them or sort of beating them around a little bit, it's a little, it's called a velvet hammer. You know what I mean? It's like, people know that I care. And it's like, so that was my inner circle. My inner circle for my whole entire life was, and it's funny, I did something weird, Bill. You'll like this. Do you know I've never taken any pictures with any of those people?
Wow.
So I want you guys to really think about that, because it was me not feeling enough, not feeling worthy of not only not taking pictures with them, but not even asking them a question. I just, everyone told me my whole life that I was stupid, so, it's like they didn't know how to figure out what the dyslexic was. And I didn't feel like I was smart. I didn't feel, worthy and enough. So, people ask me all the time, my God, you've spoken on stage with all these people, and why didn't you get a picture with them? I don't know. It's like I know people that have built a whole marketing group around pictures with celebrities. It's just not me. So So Bill, that my inner circle is consistently listening to my mentors over and over and over and over and over again. That not only locks me in, but like I always learn or get refreshed on something that I'm not doing. And so me consistently listening to my virtual mentors was my inner circle. And the second part of that is building an inner circle. And one of the difficulties about this industry is that your goal is to allow someone to reach their potential. So, you think about in this sport sometimes is an individual sport. And it's like, so when all of a sudden you help someone go up the ranks and they literally have hundreds, if not thousands of people underneath them, you sort of lose that as a mentor. Everybody wants to be a mentor. Everybody wants to have, 43,000 people underneath them. Everyone would love to have a Candice Bird Davis or an Aaron Parker or a Tomas underneath them. When you start recruiting people and really give them what they need, and they go out there and now they don't have time to be in your inner circle anymore. They're too busy building their deals. So, that's one of the reasons that I give too. People have left me some messages. Wow, I got to learn to make this about somebody else instead of myself. It's a beautiful thing because they're always there. They're always there. You know what I mean? It's like I can reach out to the children that I support 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and they're always in touch with me. So there you go, Bill.
There you go. And that's why I keep coming back
Yeah.
to listen to you. And
Yeah.
you always say, people don't do things because they don't have self-worth. And I understand that. They also have an ego. That's what stops them. And I know this because I have one.
Yeah.
And so anyway, there's hope. Just keep spreading the words, keep doing what you're doing.
It is. The way that I humble myself is, I know you guys have heard this, but you actually got to do it. It's if you're the smartest person in the room or on the Zoom, I never even said that before. If you're the smartest person on the Zoom, you might need to plug into other Zooms. So there's not too many times where you'll see Josh or Mark Aceta or Jenna Zwagil do a Zoom and I'm not on it. You know what I mean? I open my ears up and I say I can learn from everybody, and I always do. So great question, Bill.
Thank you, brother. Love
you. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bill. Thanks for the answer, Dad. Yeah, I've always heard that the way to defeat ego is humility. The fastest way to do that. You put yourself in situations where you have to be humble.
Right.
Like my dad said, put yourself in a room with people that are better than you. That will teach you humility, and that will get rid of your ego pretty fast. Because with the things that you thought were you were the best at, you'll realize there's always somebody that's better at it than you. And that's not to beat yourself up with it either. It's to teach you humility.
Right.
And people take it that way. They go, oh, I'm just not good enough. I can't do this. Look at how much better everybody else is. No, those people exist to humble you.
Yeah.
They don't exist to beat yourself down with. They exist to humble you. Because everything takes consistency, and to get rid of that, you just need humility. And I've seen that in my own life. So thank you guys for that.
If you guys don't mind, I'll tell you guys an incredible humble story.
Please.
The first time I heard of this guy named Bill Austin, he's a multi-billionaire. And he has a thing called Starkey Hearing. He was one of the guys that has the largest hearing aid company in the world. And so he started a thing called Starkey Hearing Foundation. I'm a big contributor to that. And the reason why is, you want to talk about being humbled. This guy basically on stage, I watched him and he said, listen, I want to ask every one of you a question. He says, have you ever been by yourself, and while you're by yourself, you thought you heard something And when you thought you heard something, it scared you. And he says, I remember one time I was walking home for school alone and I thought I heard some dog tags. And he said, so I sort of picked up my pace a little bit. And then I felt like I heard him some more. And I picked my pace up more. And he said, then the next thing I was running wide open. And he says, I was grabbing the door and running in and shutting the door and looking behind me. And he says, the state of terror that I was in. He says, have any one of you ever experienced that? And of course, I raised my hand and I said, me. And he goes, do you know when children can't hear, they experience that all day? I'm going, whoa. And he says, would you help me create hearing aids for children? And I'm going to fly all over the world and fit hearing aids in for children that have never heard laughter before, that have never heard the words, I love you, that don't have to worry about hearing something and not knowing where it's coming from. Would you help me do that? And then he said this, he said, for every dollar that you give me, I'll match it with $5. And so you got a person that goes, give me $100 and I'll match it with 500. You know, and so this guy flew all over the world and still does in his private jet, fitting children with hearing aids. And so the discussion that we overheard was, he has a gala every year. And whether you like him or not doesn't make a difference. But one of the keynote speakers there was Bill Clinton. And after the gala was over, this guy, Bill Austin, looked at Bill Clinton and said, come on, dude, you know you can do more to help people. Like in my mind going, wow. And then he said, those, so some people say this statement and it means something. He said, too much is given, much is required. And Jim Rohn said this to me before he died. He said, Robert, he said, everyone dies twice in their life. Once when they take their last breath on this planet, and the second time is when people stop saying their name. He goes, Robert, put your head down and make sure that while you're gone, there's people still saying your name. So thank you, Jim. So Matt, back to you.
No, excellent. Yeah, I mean, it's no doubt in my mind that there's going to be people still saying your name after you're gone, including me. So.
Thank you, Matt. I still want to make sure.
I get it. And, you know, like even like you were saying, making a mission to follow that's bigger than yourself, like let's change the world. Let's get more children with hearing aids so they can hear. Giving yourself a big mission like that to support, that's not, it may be personal. There's nothing wrong with it being personal. But, you know, things like the iPhone or anything like that get invented from that place. You know, if you read Steve Jobs's autobiography, it's really, that's how he motivated everybody. He'd get in every day and go, we're not just making a phone or we're not just making electronics. We're changing the way that humans interact with each other. We're changing the world. That my grandmother now can interact with me, even though she's states away, because of this. And before, it didn't exist in the same way. It wasn't as close. I could just FaceTime her, right? Didn't exist like that. So it is really, really cool. Give yourself a mission that's worth fighting for, and do it with humility. You know, I think him asking Bill Clinton, that just goes to show, right? That he's humble about it.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't come at it from an egotistical thing. It's like, no, like humanly, you can do more. I know you can. And I know all of us can. So thank you so much for that, Dad.
You bet.
So next in line, we have another hand raised. It's from Kai. Kai, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself so you could ask Robert your question here. You there,
Hey,
Kai?
yeah, can you hear me all right?
Hey,
Can hear
Kai,
you
what's
great.
up, man?
Hey, Robert, thank you. You are a great blessing for all of us. I literally like tune into every single one of your daily trainings, and then I put it saved on my YouTube back file so that I can always keep as a reference and save it for future references, for future.
Thank
I
you.
don't want to say it, but in case you are gone, we have a future reference as a file.
Thank you.
But,
I appreciate you.
But most important question is, for the past 24 hours, I've been running on social media, seeing the same anxiety question of the beginning of 2023 is people realizing that recession is inevitably happening and inevitably coming. So how do we go, what is your approach for connecting with those people who, without being spammy or without being pitchy?
Yeah, it's really simple. The fewer words that you use, Kai, the better off you are. It can't sound spammy if you're asking people to help you out and do you a huge personal favor. The video that I did yesterday, I was blown away when when you think of the word gratitude and people that are humble are never worried about what other people think about them.
Absolutely.
So reaching out without selling salesy is just very simple, is reach out. This is the giving season. This is when, all the charities in the world right now are bombarding social media and television saying, this is the time to give. This is the time to give. And so my thing is I know I have a platform that people can join for free, get trained for free, and have all the free technology to put an extra payday in their family's pocket. And I need your help. Do you know of anyone that needs to make extra money right now? And so I know, Kai, how much of a secret this is, because there's so many people on the planet that are teaching the exact opposite. See, if you look at someone that has a heart of giving and a heart to give to children, they're going to ask you to help out, man. They're not, oh, I hope this doesn't sound salesy or spammy. They say, listen, I support children that are not supported by their parents. They don't live with them and they're living with families. I didn't even know that there was this thing called kindership. I didn't even know what that was. And if those of you that don't know what it is, these are family members that decided, no relative of mine is going to a foster home or an orphanage. I'm taking them in. Do you know what the government does for them? Nothing. Some of these people can't even track down the parents to get them to sign a piece of paper to turn over, stewardship. If you could find the parents that abandoned these kids so they could sign a piece of paper saying, I can't take care of my children, please give credit to these people. They can't even write these dependents off on their children. Off their taxes. So I didn't even know. I knew about orphans and I knew about foster kids. I didn't know that there was this whole group of virtually millions and millions and millions of children that are being raised by relatives that get zero help. So Kai, when you believe in your passion and you believe that, like I do, that MBC is a way for people to leverage and help other people get good quality product services. You know, I'm telling you what, I don't feel led to share it on this video right now, but you know, after Christmas I'm going to. But there's a hero awards that are given to some of the people that have been with Amway for over 40 years. And that's building a legacy, man. You know, have 1.4 million people in your organization, and people that are multi millionaires, and you know, 10 or 20 of them will all say thank you for helping me. So there's something that I believe, Kai, still inside of you, that if you don't believe this is for you and you don't think that you could do it, you still got to get that it does work. And so, you know, you can be the person, like you can be everyone's Sean Hennigan. You know, Sean Hennigan for me was the person that had the courage to say, hey, you know, you should check these people out. And the best thing that Sean did is, like we talked about on this video, zero ego. He took the best person that he knew and introduced it to the best person that he knew. Did you catch that? Most people don't catch that, Kai. Most people feel like they need to explain, they need to be wordy, no. People asked me the other day, what's your copyright? Again, God blessed me by being dyslexic. So I'm like, check this out. Hey, do you know anyone that needs to make extra money? What is this? What is this? Why are you interested? Yeah, check out this short video. And Kai, you've seen my short videos. They're sure in the hell not about the product. So I'm I'm looking for people that want to be financially free, so the excess of money that they make can be used to make this world a better place. So I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So every time you think in your head, I wonder if this is going to sound spammy, I wonder if this is going to sound salesy or pitchy or whatever, it's because you're not asking for help. And that's your ego. Wow, I'm not going to ask for help. Great, I'll keep asking for help, and I'll get another 200,000 people in my group by asking people for their help. Thank you, Kai. Great freaking question, man. Great question.
It was a question that I kind of run into my mind because somebody asked me about it. And I'm like, you know, that's a good question. Maybe I should ask Robert about that, because I was like, well, you're asking me the question of how you should interact. And I was like, why don't I go straight to the source?
Yeah, have them watch this. And I'll bring up another quick one for you. This morning I had to get up early because I was talking to my whole European group. And we have a lot of people coming over from a lot of other network marketing companies, just like crazy. It's ridiculous. And they asked me, Robert, okay, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of these kinds of companies. What makes MDC so unique? What makes MDC so different than everybody else? And I said, value. The company with the most value wins every single time. And I said, let me tell you where the value is. Allowing people to get in for free and not invest any money to get their first paycheck. I said, we're more like Amazon than we're like Amway.
Ooh, good one.
I said, Amway did 8.9 billion last year. Amazon did 489 billion last year. And this is why we're more like Amazon, because people can get in for free and they can start marketing for free. And I said, people keep telling me, well, I've heard from Jim Joe Bob that you shouldn't focus on free. Well, let's ask Amazon. Amazon allows you to do a free account for 12 years. Then guess what? Now they got 200 million people on Prime. 200 million at $14.99. Kai, that's $4 billion a year that Amazon makes because they offer free. Wake the F up. Another thing, when I'm in Amazon, they don't tell me what product to buy. They allow me to make that decision. So when I get into Amazon, they offer thousands and thousands and thousands of products. They allow me to figure out what I want to buy. Just a thought. And one more value. I said to these leaders, do you know of another place right now that offers a value of $10,000 for $800? And I said, I've been in this industry for 36 years. And guess what is the number one objection? Your products cost too much. Isn't that crazy? I go, so a person buys the startup pack, might get one of every one of the products, and then they give the products away hoping that people will buy them. You give them the products, they don't rebuy them. So then you don't make any money. So now you don't believe in the product anymore. And then you fall off auto ship. How can you be on one video talking about this product saved my life? This product saved my life. I would be dead today if it wasn't for this product. And the next day you go off auto ship. That's called a lack of belief in what you're doing. And where the belief comes from is they don't believe that anyone can afford their product. So then what I did is I showed the 135. I said, so here's our position. People could come in as an executive. It's $135, no tax or freight. And do you know what our company gives you for coming in for 135? $2,000 to give away. If you can find me a better value, I'm listening. And people went, oh my God, for $135, you can give away $2,000, $2,100 prepaid travel. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? The companies that win are the companies that have value. The reason that American people didn't like Toyota when Toyota started selling cars in America is because they wasn't American made. That didn't stop Toyota from beating. There's only one car that's ever sold more than a Toyota Corolla. And that's a Model T Ford. I think that was a long time ago. So Kaizen, just create more value. Just create more value than any other company. You can get in for free. The back office is free. They don't charge you for sending you money. The app is free. This company simply has more value than other companies. And I will say one statement that you guys could use. It's not that Josh Zwagil figured out a way for us to be a disruptor in the network marketing industry. This company is a disruptor in the affiliate marketing industry. The affiliate marketing industry is 10 times larger than the network marketing industry. Just thought I'd throw some value at you. Did that help you, Kai? So you guys are going.
Absolutely.
No wonder Robert doesn't have any problems recruiting people. I share with them the value. Thank you, Kai.
Thank you, Kai. Excellent. Awesome response, Dad. Thank you guys so much for that. You know, like I think as everybody, even the question that Kai asked, everybody's trying to think about, especially in these types of industries, how to get one up on whatever is coming next, right? Like whether it's a recession or whether it's a new trend or anything like that. And I always love hearing my dad say, yeah, I'm still doing the same thing I've been doing and it's still working really well. And you know what?
Are you still doing that marketing stuff? Yes,
Right.
I am.
I'm still asking people if they know anybody. And it's like, listen, all that question is going to do is not only show the humility that you have, that you're not trying to get that person involved, but at the same time, it's like, you're just going to get more people when a recession is going on because they owe more people that need help.
Yep.
Right. So what a great opportunity and time to ask that question more. Right. So excellent answer. Thank you guys. So next in line is Mary Martyr. Mary, I'm going to ask you to unmute. I hope that's how you say your name, your last name. So go ahead and unmute if you can.
Did I do it?
You did it.
Wow. I'm
Hi,
here.
Mary.
Hi, Rob.
Hello.
Oh my God, Robert, thank you so much for signing my book at convention.
Thank you so much for
This
being
is
so
a
blessed
book.
and buying it.
This is a book that you don't read once. I mean, yeah, great leaders are readers, but great leaders study. So I've read it twice. Now I'm studying.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm actually here with you all. This is exciting. So my question is, when it comes to follow-up, I really depended on the format that we had in our MDC Genius app,
Okay.
because with that, I was able to set the time and the who to follow up. Now, so do you have some kind of secret sauce in how, when,
Yeah.
who you follow up with, et cetera?
Yeah, I do, Mary. And again, thank you so much for being a blessing. It was nice meeting you. I really love and appreciate you. By the way, you guys, guess how much money I make when someone buys an audiobook or buys a book? Nothing. It all goes to charity. But Mary, here's my secret sauce. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't follow up.
Huh?
I don't follow up. So I say as little as possible to as many people as fast as I can. I focus on getting the right people the information. I'm just really good, Mary, at flipping through cards very, very fast. So if you look at it as flipping cards, imagine looking at a card and putting it down and putting it down and putting it down, then stop. Stop flipping cards and then go through all the cards you already flipped to see if you missed any aces.
Oh, wow.
Now, didn't that relieve you of a bunch of
Mind.
time?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Doesn't that relieve you of a lot of stress and pressure and time? Now, a lot of people disagree with me on this. They just don't make what I make.
Wow.
So I focus on the thing that, is the offense, the thing that brings them in. Because I not only believe that you can't say the wrong thing to the right people, Mary, but following up on people, it's like, I'll tell you, and sometimes I go against what I do, right? So when this new card came out, our virtual card for, people to get $100 in prepaid travel. And so I was always showing my back office. And when I was showing my back office and people would say, Robert, what do you do if you send somebody a card and then after you send somebody a card that they don't create an account? And I was like, mentally in my mind, I was going, wow, I never thought about that. So, I'll share because you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about here. But, right here, we have a whole list of, people that we gave away cards to. And people said, hey, you know, well, you got people that haven't accepted it. And I go, yeah, over 50%, probably more like 60% of people that haven't. So what I did, Mary, is I went, you know, I'm going to try. So imagine me sharing with you, Mary, just give me your email and phone number and I'll send you over $100 in prepaid travel. And I went back to every one of them because someone said, you know, I was thinking about doing that, and I did. So imagine this. Hi, Mary, this is Robert. I noticed that you're probably busy and you didn't create an account to redeem your $100 for your prepaid travel. You know, if you're not interested right now, I could just give the card to somebody else. And they were definitely the wrong person at the wrong time because they didn't even reply to that message.
Wow.
Guess how many people out of 21 follow-ups I got to go, oh my God, I forgot about it. I'll jump on it right now and create an account.
Mhm.
0. So I'd like to find the person that said fortunes in the follow-up and just slap them. Because for whatever reason, there's a bunch of people that don't follow up that still teach that stupid stuff.
Wow.
So next time someone says, it's fortune in the follow-up, why don't you just say, hey, Mary, listen, I talked to Robert. You know he's controversial. And why don't you show me the people that you followed up with in the last 30 days? And out of those people you followed up with, they actually got involved in the company and bought something. Because I sure don't want to waste my time doing something that doesn't work.
No kidding. It's a
No.
no-brainer. Oh,
Now,
wow.
Mary, I'll say one more and you'll love this. People, thank you for bringing this up. How many people on here, live or recorded, you can post, love to be rejected? Not me. So let's teach people how to follow up so they can get rejected again. So it'd be like, I'm at a dance, Mary, you know what I mean? And I finally get the courage. And I go up and I walk up to you and say, Mary, would you like to dance? And you go, Robert, no, thank you. But I'm not interested right now. And so I'm feeling rejected. And I go back and I sit in my seat and Bill Shoemaker's there. And he looks at me and he goes, don't you know, fortune's in the follow-up. And I'm going like, yeah, I suppose. So I get off my butt. I walk up to you, Mary, and say, do you want to dance now? And you go, no, I still don't want to dance. So now I feel a lot better.
This is the best.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I won't say anymore. It's just there's a lot of selling techniques that people do. And if you're a salesperson and you're going after big clients and stuff like that, like maybe a big industry would be like real estate. If you're teaching people to be salespeople, that might be a good technique, but I don't do sales. See, I was taught to create a movement. I'm in the people business of a bunch of people that want more in their life. And so I need to find people at the right time in the right place in their life, Mary, that says, I would like things to be different in my life. And that's why I focus on the business instead of the product. So great question, Mary. Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mary, for that question. I always love watching my dad answer that question because it's just it's funny to see people's reactions to it too. And I've seen him do this, it's like, you can't say the right thing to his whole saying. So I don't even want to mess it up, but yeah,
Thanks,
still.
Matt.
So great question, Mary. Thank you guys so much. So we actually have another Mary that has her hand raised. Mary Valsic. Mary, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Hopefully I didn't butcher your last name. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. You didn't
Excellent.
butcher it too badly.
Awesome. I'm glad.
Hi, Robert. How you doing today?
I'm blessed and highly favored and deeply loved. How are you?
I am very good today. Thank you.
Good.
I part of my question, I think you just helped me with by the no follow-up. But my question is, I know in my heart of hearts that I can do whatever I want to do. I've done it in the past, and I will be laser focused on some days, and everything's going right and I'm fine. And then comes the day where it's just not a great day. And I guess I want to know is, what do you do on those days where your mind says, what are you thinking? You can't do this. Are you out of your mind? And it's like, sometimes it is kind of a battle, and I know
Totally,
I'll get through it.
So Mary,
what do you do?
Mary, first of all, I just love and appreciate you. And I just want you to know, we've gone back and forth on Facebook chat, and one thing is, I thank you for being on here. And I just thank you being so brave to even ask that. That is a very vulnerable question. And I just appreciate you for being bold enough to ask.
It was a little scary.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't want to put ourselves out there and say, I don't think right every day. And it's always around this season where not only do people want to talk about giving, but then all of a sudden when you hear about people that everybody loves, and all of a sudden they take their lives. And you just sit there and go, why? I don't understand. Well, you don't understand what's going on in their head. And
Exactly.
our thoughts, as you know, Mary, create feelings, and those feelings have a tendency of compounding on each other.
Yep.
So all I can share with you from a person, based off my last video that talked about some really awful dark places in my life where I thought the same things, is you have to think about what you can do for others.
Gotcha.
You just have to,
That
because
makes sense.
and so I tell people sometimes it takes a little bit of motivation. Like sometimes you got to jump in the car and go to the children's hospital. Sometimes you got to go to the soup kitchen. Sometimes you got to, you have to jump in a car and go hang around a bunch of people you can serve.
Awesome.
And it will mess you up, Mary.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I've taken this to a place where, now all of a sudden it's like, what means the most to me? And children mean the most to me. And I can remember just not only feeling abandoned, but I also felt like no one cared, like I didn't make a difference. And so then right away, when I think that, and all the people that have abandoned me or hurt me, why aren't they telling me they're sorry? Why don't they apologize? Why don't they do something? And see, and this is all self-serving. I'm expecting things for me. And the way that you switch that, Mary, is find the people that are hurting like you and be the person that you wish someone would be for you.
I love that. Love it.
It's magic.
Gotcha. It is. You're right. And
It's totally magic. Mary, you could be in the worst place on a spiritual, on a feeling place that you can possibly be. And I have your phone number. And I could call you up and say, Mary, I don't mean to surprise you. I just happened to be at the airport and they canceled my flight. is there any way possible that we could have a meal together?
Wow.
And I can guarantee you, you would switch your attitude very fast.
Absolutely, you're right. You're right.
So-
When you can help somebody.
Yeah, it's amazing when someone asks us to help and we're like just like in the darkest place we could be, and then someone reaches out and says, "Mary, I hope I'm not catching you at a bad time." And you know what our response usually is? Oh no, you're not
No
catching
problem.
me at a bad time.
Exactly.
Well, then awesome. I was wondering if you could help me out. I don't want to eat alone, and I was wondering if there's any way that you can come pick me up at the airport, or I can jump in an Uber and meet you someplace. And that's when you get to see the true heart of Mary.
Hmm.
Because Mary goes, "You're not calling an Uber. I'm on my way there right now."
That's me. Exactly, exactly. Oh my God, thank you. It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense, because my ultimate why is not for me, it's for something greater than me. So
So
that
for me,
makes sense.
that's when children, that, my mentor was smart to me. He said, Robert, he said, tell me what your financial goals are. What are you setting your goals for next year for income? And I said to him, I don't know. He goes, how do you not know that answer? And I said, that's another I don't know. And he said, do you think you're money motivated? I go, I'm not. And he goes, great, then start setting your goals on how much money you're going to give to somebody else.
Oh, wow.
And so
Wow.
I started immediately reaching out to anybody that had to do with children, and I'd call them and they'd say, yeah, I said, what right now are you raising funds for? And they go, oh, we're right now trying to raise $60,000 to build a new playground for some children on the west side of town.
Wow.
And I went, count me in. I'll go get the money.
Wow.
But I won't call anybody for me. Well, you better not be on my list, Mary, if I'm trying to raise some money for some kids.
I'm there.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. Oh my God, you just said what is in my head. Like, I'll do anything for somebody else, but pick up that phone and I got to make a call to ask somebody to help me.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
So once you figure out that,
Change your mindset.
Yeah, once you start figuring out what that is, and let me just use one example, the Zwagil Foundation. So if you said this one thing, imagine you reach out to somebody and say, hey, Jill, how you doing? Great. Do you got a minute? Yeah. Listen, I'm helping a company raise money for some orphans to have a good Christmas. Is there do you know of anyone that could help me with that? Oh, Mary muted. So, Mary, I don't
Sorry.
know. Oh,
My dogs were barking. I wanted to mute myself. Sorry.
that's okay. But I think you know exactly. So when I reach out to people, people go, I have people all the time that say, hey, can you give to my ministry? And I said, yeah, if you give to mine.
Wow.
And man, I got some links to throw on you. So how many of you have people that reach out to you all the time asking you for money? I just turn around and send my link right back to them. These are the orphans that I'm helping in India, in the Bahamas. And I'd love for you to be able to help me out with a donation. They're like, damn it.
You have orphans.
It's
You have orphans that you're helping in India?
Excuse me?
You have orphans that you help in India?
India and Africa and Bahamas.
Wow. Where in India? Just curious.
Boy, now that is funny. I do not know the exact
sorry.
cities of them.
I a couple years ago, I went to India to train for my company, to do some training for some people there. And I was in India for 8 weeks. And I'll tell you, there is nothing more that you can find that you're grateful for what you have than going to a third world country for weeks at a time. What you see is incredible. So yes, that's why I was just wondering. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Mary,
beautiful there, but it's so overpopulated.
Mary, if you go to documentationbeatsconversation.com, you'll see some of the places that I give to, and their links are right there.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you
So I'm
so
proud
much.
of
I
you.
appreciate it.
You sound different from the time that when you jumped on till now.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's an awesome thing.
Okay.
I just hear more joy in your heart than when you started.
Well, you helped answer my question, and it was just easy for you to answer that, and it kind of just gave me some relief to know what I can do to fix that. So yes.
And
Thank you,
this
thank
could
you.
even go back to Kai's question, you know, how do you sound not spammy? How do you sound not pitchy? When you're asking people to help you help somebody.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That's when you know you're way off freaking messaging. When someone says, "Hi, I'm a global international expansion leader for our ABC company." Why are you putting so much damn credit on you? Who the hell are you? But people won't get their ego out of the way. So what they want to say is, do you keep your business options open? Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh. Wow. Wow.
I don't know. I know that people do that, but if you want A-type personality, red type people recruiting red type people, then that might be a good way to recruit.
You're exactly right. I'm green.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for every other. Mary, I'm green.
All right. Wow. I'm green with a little bit of yellow.
I'm an automotive engineer. I'm a geek from the dork forest.
I was a corporate analyst and trainer.
You'll love this, Mary. One time I stood in front of a room and there was like 700 people there. And I asked everyone in the room to raise their hand based on what color personality that they thought I was. And everyone in that audience raised their hand believing I was their personality type. The blues raised their hands, the yellows raised their hands, the blues raised their hand, and the A's raised their hand. And I go, do you know why all of you raise your hands? Because I take the time to give a shit about who you are. So I talk your language.
Yep.
I don't talk my language.
Absolutely.
So if I'm talking to a red and they're like, just get to the point. And I said, all right, I made $111,000 last month. Was that too pointy?
Love it. Love it.
Why do you do this? Well, I help 400 kids have a better Christmas. Aww.
That's huge.
Yeah. How much did you give this year? Yeah, it's like, whoop, whoop, whoop. It's like.
Exactly.
And it's not bragging that anyone should boast, but it is fun to give more money a year than people make.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mary. Great questions. I love you.
Thank you, Robert. Always thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you, Dad, for that. Yeah, I know for a fact mindset is something that is kind of forced upon you in doing this business. You have to grow so much.
Yeah.
And in a culture that tells you to feed your ego, and the ego is always unfulfilled, it's an isolating island. You live in society, and society tells you need to be better all the time, when humanity and humans are hardwired to help one another because we're tribal based. So the fulfillment of life is in helping others, but everyone tells you, oh, you need to help yourself. You need to do all these things. You need to be better. It's like all of that growth is in that humility of helping others, not in feeding yourself. You'll see big celebrities or someone that's accomplished the things in life that you want to, and they still feel unfulfilled and unhappy because feeding the ego is impossible.
That's why
it's an endless monster. So
Matt, for being 30 and knowing that, you know how much I'm proud of you.
well, I mean, I learned a lot of it from you,
Yeah,
and
and that's why people don't understand that George Clooney, right? What more could George Clooney want? He was like
Right.
the sexiest man in the world and the #1 bachelor until someone introduced him to people that were less fortunate. And as soon as he got introduced to that, then he spent all his time helping people that were less fortunate and ran into a woman that understands international law. And her whole goal in life is to fight for the little person. That's where he found his wife.
Mhm.
Not in the Hollywood scene. So when all of a sudden he wants to help nothing but these people all over the world, and he runs into this woman that has a law degree, and her goal is fighting for women's rights in third world country, he was going, wow, that's attractive. So good one.
No,
Matt.
absolutely. Yeah. There's a reason that some of these people that accomplish all the things that some of us want to eventually end up in charity work instead towards the end of their career and life, because they've accomplished all these things and went, wow, that really didn't matter to my mind at all. All those things that I thought mattered really don't.
You won
Like
an Oscar. You won an
Right.
Oscar in your last movie, did $1 billion worth of blockbuster sales. And it's like, why don't I feel better?
No, I remember everybody wanted Leonardo DiCaprio to win an Oscar, right? Because I think he's a great actor and stuff as well. So he finally wins one, and he gets up there and just talks about how we need to save the environment. Right? And I know some of these people can be hypocritical, but I think that they're looking for something. They're seeking something. And that something is the fulfillment and the helping of others. And they're realizing that. And it's like, man, I can do more here. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, why haven't they been in anything? Well, what do you think they've been doing? You go on National Geographic and they got like 3 documentaries on the environment. Like James Cameron's got Avatar 2 that just came out. God, if you wondered where he went since 2008, the last Avatar movie, he's been doing a lot of environmental work and a lot of that type of stuff. You can have the biggest movie box office ever made, and that's not enough. You can have that back to back, and it's not enough.
Right.
So I think absolutely, you guys, just what my dad is saying. If you have a ego that's so big that you're worried about rejection of it, then you need to put yourself in a situation where you can build that humility back and realize that you don't need it. So thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mary, for that question.
You always had so much wisdom. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I try my best.
Now we
So we're
get to
gonna-
talk to Santa. You guys
Well,
think you got good influence and good pull. Check this out, man.
So the next person that we have in line with their hands raised is Corky. Corky, I'm going to ask you to unmute so you can ask Robert your question.
Well, I'm so excited to be here. Thrilled. I've got so many things I was originally going to talk about or ask. Then I went, oh my gosh, he answered all those questions.
Corky,
And
by the way, thank you for warming my heart. I've missed you, brother. I've missed you.
And we go back to equinox days.
Golly, we do.
Yeah. And I just learned so much at that time. What I learned is I have to do network marketing, but I have to do affiliate marketing now. That's off the shelf. Network marketing is off the shelf. So affiliate marketing is in. Thanks to you for the last 2 weeks. I've been diving into everything I can in between my Santa stuff because I'm a very busy Santa. I've been diving
Thank
into
you.
everything you do. And I wanted to say, isn't it exciting when you hear your son come up with stuff, you go, wow, he got it. I mean, oh my gosh, I get to experience that with one of my sons that it just blows me away when he comes up with some stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
at 30 years old, you could have looked up Clueless and Wikipedia, and my picture would have my picture would have been there. So
Yeah, that is so cool, Matthew. Congratulations to you too. And thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Too. But yeah, I have unusual stuff, maybe not unusual. I don't know. I've hit some success. My son said, Dad, you need to get on TikTok, February 22nd. I said, no, I'm not going to sing and dance or that kind of thing, because I had no clue really what it was. But he says, no, Dad, look what I look at. And it's motorcycles and fishing and politics and stuff like that. It's not some of the stuff that you can see on there. So we posted that February 22nd. I said, okay. And then after that, I went live in about a couple of weeks. Well, I have 1.1 million followers now.
oh my God, way to go.
I don't say that to impress you, please.
No.
It's not. I'm going, when I'm sitting here, I go, I want to talk to Robert and get some insight and some ideas because God has given me a platform that I didn't know I had, a voice. I have a voice that I didn't know I had. You know, I'm a recovering alcoholic, ex-rodeo clown. You know, I have 12 years or something like that. But, you know, my life has just begun over. I'm 68 years old now. And also God allowed that to happen when I had open heart surgery August 9th, you know. And in the middle of all that, it just keeps growing and growing. But in the middle of that, I did this one thing that really opened my eyes. I said, don't gift me, because on TikTok, you can give gifts. You give these little gifts. And, you know, we did really well with that stuff. I mean, but I said, don't give me gifts. Let's go find somebody to give gifts to.
Yeah.
Let's go find somebody else live that we could just bombard them with all these gifts. Wouldn't that be fun? Because that's what I do, you know. Let's go bombard them out of nowhere. They're not going to know who we are, what we're going to do, you know. But I have 3,000 people on my live at the time going, me.
God
Please,
bless you, Corky.
And I went, oh my gosh, what is going on here? To find out that I looked through some of these other profiles, they're all single mothers. Well, I was raised by a single mother. My mom had me when she was 15.
Wow.
She had me when she was 15 by herself. And then my biological dad was a knucklehead. He was in and out of my life, and it was just a mess. And then, but with this voice, and then when you start talking about the Zwagil Foundation, I've heard it before because you've talked about it in your lives and stuff. I got really excited because that's my goal, Robert, is to be your Santa for some of these. And I am a professional Santa. I do brand deals. I do all kinds of stuff. But it's that empty thing still there. It's that thing that we were talking about before. I hit 1 million people. I thought, man, when I hit 1 million people, you know, now I got 1.1. I mean, I went, that's not so cool. I mean, it is cool because, you know, you get the people going that come at you for the money, for one thing. But I hope I'm not taking a bunch of your time, but
You're not.
I'm just at a place like, okay, God has put me on this platform. I've got studio, I got the equipment, I got stuff. I don't want to be a mentor. I want to send them all to Robert, Bobby, as I used to know him, to Robert.
We need to jump on a Zoom. Oh,
I got this. Plus, I have the book. I can't find the book because we're redoing the studio. Well, that was one of my questions, is how many people do I have to get to be on a Zoom? And the other thing is, which brings up, I don't how does the single mom with 3 kids struggling like hell right now go, well, Corky did it because he's got 1.1 million people. I almost want to go scratch all that. You
Right.
know, let me start from nothing. I have in my order, I have an order for like $3,000 worth of stuff. I go, well, no, a mom with 3 kids isn't going to be able to do that. Okay.
Right.
I have a lot inside here that just wants to bubble out. I'm just, I'm ready to
Corky,
go.
I know that
I set a declaration of what's going to happen after my Santa season. I'm making a declaration. The line is in the sand. I'm going to go across this as soon as my Santa business is over.
Yeah,
So,
I'll tell you right now, Corky, what
and I
we do-
apologize to
Yeah,
you.
no, don't apologize at all. We'll jump on a separate Zoom, but I'll cover just little parts here. Is when you're given a big platform, I thought it was pretty neat that we're talking about George Clooney and some of these other people that, you know, how many followers do they have? It's just now understanding that if your heart is for single moms, you know what I mean, or moms that are, you know, taking care of their kids, it's one of those things when you focus with those people. The thing I love most about the affiliation, the affiliate marketing thing, is that those moms that don't have any money can get in for free. And when they get in for free, then we can show them how to market their link in a proper way to generate an extra income for them and their children without having to invest money all the time.
Right, right.
You know, so help them get a paycheck and help them consistently get a paycheck by building an audience. So there's one part of our platform that are just for influencers, Corky, just for influencers. So
really,
yeah. And so this allows them to be able to go out, do whatever they say, post a link, and now they can go out there and build this large group of people, and they don't have to structure it in a way. They don't have to, you know, buy certain amounts and separate things, because in the influencer market is a whole different world. You don't reach out to someone like Corky that has 1.2 million people. And then when you do that, you go, hey, Corky, listen, I need you to come in as an executive level and buy a bunch of products. See, that they're not looking for that. They're looking for, you know, to give more value to the followers that they have.
Right.
You know,
that's what I want to do. I have people that pay money every month, 600 plus, just to have special benefits. I do special calls for them. I have 20 moderators that have their own, we have our own little group that we talk in. And I you know, and then I'm going, well, how do I put this all together to make a difference in those lives?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not rich and famous. I've got a studio. And I got a voice, and God put it in my heart to talk real. You know, I pray for people on my lives.
Sure.
TikTok, that just blows them away. And they just love it. They just love it. People are looking for joy, peace, and some love in their life right now, and hope. That's what they're looking for today. And
they're
they're
looking to be inspired, and they're looking for hope, and they also they're looking for someone to believe in them, Corky.
Exactly. Exactly. It's amazing what has happened. I can't tell you what that does to a person's life. I mean, I've got an artist.
Well, I even talk about it in my book, you know, so here I'm a lost kid, and I just needed one person to say to me, which sounds like so simple. And they just looked at me and went, Bobby, you're pretty good with your hands. And I'm like, huh? And it's like, did you fix that bike? Did you fix that motorcycle? Did you fix that snowmobile? Yeah. My God, that's special. You're really good at that. I just needed one person to tell me that when I was young, and you couldn't find me out playing around with all the kids. I was in the garage building something because one person told me I was good at something. And the next time that happened, Corky, when I got injured and now I lost my whole identity, is, believe it or not, Bill Gould. You know who he is.
Yeah.
Bill Gould looked at me and goes, do you know what I used to do? And I said, what? And he said, I used to work at a tire store, and I installed car stereos. And I went, really? And he said this exactly to me, Corky. He said, you being automotive technician, you will crush this.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, because you're not scared to do the mundane. And I went, what are you talking about? He goes, there's only one way to do a brake job. There's
Right.
only one way to do a brake job. And he says, if you're a good mechanic, you get better at it and more efficient at it every time you do it. And you're not interested in changing the sequence and what it's done.
Right.
You don't need to reinvent the wheel. And he says, Robert, when you understand the sequence in this industry, he says, you'll just collapse time frames just like you did on flat rate. And he says, you'll crush everyone. And I
Mhm.
just needed one person to go, oh, okay, I'll do this. And
Mhm.
the rest is history. I'm still doing
Right.
it 36 years later.
Right. Right. That's
Well, thank you,
amazing.
Corky. Please reach
Thank
out
you.
to me and we'll set up a Zoom and I'll show you exactly what I would suggest that you do.
Okay, I don't know how to reach out to you exactly, but we'll figure it out.
Let
I
me
think I have Terry. Terry and I've communicated in the past.
what I could
When I
do is
first
I can
signed up.
let me post my Telegram in the chat here.
Isn't it just at Robert Hollis? Your
I think it is, yeah.
Telegram? Yeah.
It's funny, you probably could do at Robert Hollis at a lot of stuff on YouTube and
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
and- yeah, and find me. Corky, what a pleasure to see you again. As soon as I seen your
Thank
name, my heart lit up.
It's amazing you remembered it. But
Oh,
I guess I've been in and out of your world.
you know what?
Sure.
You're unforgettable.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh, that's so-
All right. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. God bless you,
Okay.
Corky. Have a great Christmas.
Thank you. God bless you too. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, Corky, for your question and your heart too as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we have one more hand raised, and then I do have a couple of questions on Facebook if you're okay with answering those after the hands raised.
Why don't we do
Or are we
those
running out of
first, and
time
then
here?
we'll finish up with Scott.
Sure. Okay. So Faith asks, I was listening to Les Brown today and picked up some nuggets on him that motivated me. I know you listen to a lot of mentors, so which mentor taught you the most? And what is the one nugget you have that you never forgot and motivates you on a daily basis? So the question is what
Yeah.
mentor impacted you the most and what was the nugget that did? So
Well, without a doubt, Bill Gould was the mentor that, that made really switched everything on for me. It was just so funny as you asked that question, me and Corky were just talking about it. It was the one individual that said to me that you think I make 62 grand a month, you're going to blow that away. And it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. So thank you, Bill. He's still out there. I would say the second and third mentor, again, virtual mentor, would be Wallace Wattles. Science of Getting Rich. I met Og Mandino one time. Og Mandino would be another one. All of his books. I mean, that they just really switch your thinking about you. You know what I mean? It's always on my desk. It's always right in front of me. And guess what it's under? It's always underneath my magnifying glass. So it's like, learn to focus. You're a miracle. Knock it out of the park. Okay, I got it. All right.
excellent. Yeah,
And
go
the
ahead.
other one would be Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn was the key. And out of all that, what is the one thing? I would say it happened to be in the right time in my life, but when Og Mandino said that I was a miracle, I've been every day from that day forward proving that I am. And so it was just the other day where someone said, and it was someone in this industry, and they were saying, do you know that there's less than 0.0001% of the people in network marketing that consistently make over $1 million a year? And I was like, wow. I know I'm in that category, but to be 1/1000th of a percent of a person that figured this out. And yet there's so many people that would rather do School of Hard Knocks and figure it out on their own. That's a whole different video, because that's one thing that I don't know who taught me that. I was trying to say that it was, my professor in college that said, Robert, life is easy. It's simple. You find somebody who's got what you got and you go work for them. And I'm so ignorant that I said, why would they hire me? He said, I didn't say they would hire you. And I went, what are you talking about? And he goes, Robert, you go to them and you be an apprentice. You go to them and say, I'll work for you for free. I just want to be around you. Then he said, the next step is create value for them. Go the extra mile. You'll end up on their payroll. Isn't that crazy? So I was like, man, what a better apprenticeship than network marketing. I'm not aware of affiliate marketing and network marketing where you can find someone that makes millions of dollars doing exactly what you should be doing, and they make money off helping you succeed. It's like pretty simple. So next question, Matt.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you for that question, Faith. I hope that answered your question. The next one is from Danielle, and she says, my question goes with Mary's from earlier. Would you follow up with someone if they bought product? Some teach that you should follow up a few weeks after they bought product and make sure that they don't have any more questions. So
nope.
You wouldn't follow up still. I mean, that surprised me, but
yeah, no. I thank them when
there you go.
When people become an affiliate with me or a customer with me, I will send them a personal message saying, I really appreciate you, becoming a customer. If there's anything that I can do, let me know. And I do that with my affiliates as well. So those are people that are personal to me. Now you know my number, man. Now you know my number. You know who I am. You know how to get a hold of me. If you need me, I'm there. I don't need to, I don't need to motivate you to do more for me. I need more people. So I want 1 million people that are in my organization that are active, that are participating in any way they feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with a customer and affiliate in my organization. Corky, now that he's building an audience, he knows this. It's like, if you had one person that gave you $2 a year, I'm very, very thankful for that person. I'm very thankful for that person. I don't expect somebody that can afford $2 a year to do 20 a month. I don't. Other people do. Other people want people to participate at a higher level. I love my 1Ks. I love my 5Ks. I love my people that order something for their pets every 3 months. So great question, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for that, Danielle from Facebook. So we have one more hand raised from Scott. Scott, okay. I'm going to ask you to unmute. You can ask your question. Let me see here. Oh, where'd he go? There he is. Scott, are you with us?
Scott?
Maybe he didn't have a question. I'm going to ask him to unmute one more time.
Scott, you can leave us a message.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, sorry, I'm getting spotty reception. Hey, just a quick question. I've always struggled with the concept of, if you have a great product that can go to market and meet someone's specific needs, why would you approach them with the business instead of the product?
The great question to that, Scott, is it's all really based on how you were taught and brought in the industry. Okay, so when I got brought into this industry, I was brought in as do you know of anyone that would like to supplement their income or double it or replace it? So the way that I was brought into the system is what I believed in and what I've duplicated. And so that's the number one reason. People always ask, why do I lead with the business instead of the product? It's really simple. It's the way I was taught. You know what I mean? The other thing, Scott, is you'll notice that during a recession and inflation, you know, there's always, my mentor did this to me. So he said, Robert, what's your favorite product? And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, what product do you like more than any one of them? And I said, of course I like the water filter. You know, it takes water that's got a bunch of chemicals in it, and it makes it bottled quality water for a penny a gallon. And he goes, great. He says, I'll run an ad and I'll put 500 people in a room. And then I want you to stand in front of all of them and tell them why they need this product and why they need to buy your product versus any other product on the market. And he said, then I'm going to come up after you and I'm going to reach in my pocket and I'm going to pull out $1,000. And I'm going to ask how many people in the audience would like this $1,000. And he goes, I bet you I beat you. And I went, wow. So there's my reason, Scott. I talked about one of my mentors, Jim Rohn, which I consider one of the best in this world on a lot of things. And he says, if you want to make money, listen closely, Scott. If you want to make money, sell the product. If you want to make a fortune, build a group. So when you talk to the best of the best of the best of the best, and you ask them what they do, they'll always tell you, well, I have a large organization of over 43,000 people that are responsible for my income. They never ever say, Scott, you know, I have 3,000 customers that buy the product every day or every month. So it's not that I'm against the product. I love the product. I think the number one product that MDC has is a compensation plan. and some people might think that's funny. Well, what's your second best product? The marketing system. What's your third favorite product? The training. So yeah, Scott. So I hope that helped you, and you don't need to apologize for having a spotty reception.
No, we've all been there. Thank you so much for the question, Scott. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being on here.
Yeah. So and the only other thing, Scott, that I'll say that I know is going to be controversy, but not only have I done this business for 36 years, but man, I was figuring this out the other day. The total amount of people that I've had in my organization over 36 years is 3.4 million people I've had in my group. And to have 3.4 million people in my group, plus at one time I had 2.6 million customers in my group. That allows me to have a little more insight and wisdom based off data. And people that lead with the product never maintain their position. People that lead with product will hit a rank, level off, and drop out of their rank. Why? They can't sustain it. You can be a rock star salesperson for only so long. So you're selling, and then you get burnt out. And the problem with this industry is when you get out, even Santa takes some time off. Just not during this time, right? So you guys got to understand that when you focus on sales and you focus on sales instead of building a group, you're going to be busting your butt for a short period of time. And that's where this thing came from, called a 90-day blitz. In my opinion, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So you're racing a race, you got 500 miles to go. And so Kevin, listen, Kevin, hang on a second. 500 miles. I just need you to drive your best for 100 miles. That's it. Just put everything you got into 100 miles. Robert, it's a 500-mile race. I know. It says, just go hard for 100 miles and then don't drive hard anymore. How many of you guys know that goes against every sports rule in the world? It goes against every singing, every actor. What's the people, when you hear people that went, oh my God, I think they had a #1 hit for the past 40 years in a row. The people that are legends are the people that are consistent. And they, they don't do a world tour for all of their life, but you still got to be consistent. Are you more impressed by a one-hit wonder? Milli Vanilli? Do you guys know this is a whole different video, but I'll leave with this. I want every one of you to guess what the #1 hit wonder was. So you guys know where this Robert Hollis brain is all the time. The number one hit wonder was Macarena. Okay, it's cool to have one song, right? But who pops into your mind when you talk about who's had the most #1s? Who's had the most #1s over a period of years? Doesn't this all of a sudden put you in a different category? Because I said Macarena, and how many people know who the artist is, the writer is? But then we can turn around and say a song like Imagine like, I don't know, from that one guy. Oh,
John Lennon.
And he was with a band called
The Beatles.
See, my son's 30 years old. That's a legend. That's what Jim Rowan was talking about. See, for you to talk to someone that's 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, and they go, oh, John Lennon, the Beatles, that's the kind of reputation I want. I don't want to be a person that hit a rank and then didn't hit it again. So I know that, yeah, Matt's known me his entire life. His father doesn't show up at conventions without getting plaques. Why would you want to show up at a convention and not get a plaque?
It's funny you don't even have it up on the wall. There's no space.
Yeah, it just sits down there. Got them all.
What you guys don't know, what you guys don't know is all around him right now is just plaques and stuff that aren't hung up. So.
But consistency over a long period of time, Scott, is what you want to master. What you want to master. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder. And so yeah, don't you, and I know that I'm belaboring this point, but why is it that people that sell product are always switching the product? Just a thought. Oh my God, CBD. Oh my God, sprays. Oh my God, body melt. Oh my God, pink drink. You guys notice that for 36 years, I'm like, replace your income. I've been saying supplement and replace your income for 36 years. So you guys could find videos of me 20 years ago doing a video. And I'm saying, you know what? Jim Rowan and Bill Gould taught me how to lead with the business. Yeah, I'm following people like Don Fala. that have 1 million people active in their group. So you imagine Corky said he had 1.2 million. Can you guys imagine if he had let's just say 1. So let's say that Corky had 1 million people and all they're doing is 40 in volume, 40 in personal volume. That's $40 million a month. Corky, like, yeah, you can help a lot of children. Corky can even hire a bunch of elves to build the products for him. All right, you guys, I love and appreciate you, Matt. Let's go ahead and close this out.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody so much for getting on here. Thank you for your questions and spending your weekend with us. I feel like this is one of the best AMAs we've ever done. It went great. So I thank everybody here and anyone that's watching the replay afterwards. Thank you for checking this out and being with us. So with that said, you can always go to roberthollis.com/free and get my dad's book and a bunch of free training absolutely for free. Definitely check that book out if you have time off over the holidays. It's not a long read. You can get through it and it will 100% inspire you moving into the new year without a doubt. So I don't know if we plan on doing another one of these next Saturday because it's
Let
Christmas
me
Eve.
look at the date.
Yeah, it's Christmas
The
Eve, I think, right?
24th, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then the next one is on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Of course we'll do them.
Absolutely. So with that said, then after this is over, we'll get the link changed out and you can go to roberthollis.com/AMA to sign up for that next AMA happening on the 24th and get your questions answered by Robert. Thank you guys so much again for being on here. Thanks for spending time with us and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Matt. I love and appreciate you so much for your help. I
love and appreciate you too.
Everyone, so they can say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank
Merry
you,
Christmas.
Robert. Thank you,
Thank you.
Matthew.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you, Santa.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Santa.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Have a great day, Kevin's son.
All right.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks,
Awesome.
Michael, Dustin, Anthony.
Thank you.
Anthony from Sarakalaka. There you go. Thank you, Scott.
Bye.
Daniel
Thank
from
you.
South Africa. Miguel from Spain. Peter from England. My God. Dee Dee, thank you so much. Thank you, Paul from Australia.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hi, Shelly. Bye, Kai. Hi, Lisa. Chris, Corky, of course. Barry, Mary, and Mary. I love you guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.